So apparently, ExtraEmily is in the news again. This is like what her third controversy so far for this year. Damn, 3 controversies in 1 year. And it's like in a span. It was in a span in a short time too, as well. It wasn't even like wasn't even a lengthy, long periods of time from between each other. No, they've been kind of been pretty close together, which is kind of a bit wild. But our friend Sensitive Society has made a video on the subject. Of course, Ref says Desu has talked about it too as well, but I assume he also gives more context of like what happened in the past or so. But we already kind of know about the past. First controversy, for those who don't know, right? ExtraEmily, Twitch streamer. Apparently she is part of OTK is what I'm hearing right now. First controversy is basically, she's kind of like a bit of a bad daughter because she doesn't want to pay her parents back for her college fund or so, because her parents paid for her college. But she got her degree, but instead of using her degree, she decided to do Twitch streaming. Logic. Second controversy that she got or so was her speeding through a red light or so while streaming. That's the second controversy. Not really super huge, but it's still pretty much. I have no idea. I don't know if they did disband it. I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask the video that I saw. A while ago. That's from like a while ago. So, maybe she was part of OTK. Maybe she's part of OTK member or something like that. And then like now, apparently, I don't know what this controversy is about. I have no idea what's going on now these days. But the second controversy was like she was passing through, she was speeding through a red light, so while streaming in the car. So there's that one. Now here's the third controversy. Let's see what's been happening with ExtraEmily again this time. Oh wait, I can't wait to see this, man. What a wholesome girl, right?
True story, I was chilling in bed watching Naruto Shippuden, as I usually do after I'm done with the slop. I'm like, Jesus, I just did so much work. I gotta chill. I gotta watch like 3 hours of anime now. And I got a DM from someone on IG telling me that there's this Twitch streamer who goes by ExtraEmily who's abusing the copyright system and is just, to put it lightly, a pretty bratty individual from what I've seen. And that
no, she is a brat. 1000%. She is a very bratty individual. Great. Now she's abusing the copyright system. We all know this for a fact. You do not abuse the copyright system. Everybody knows this rule on the internet. And if you start abusing the copyright system, you are about to hit your career pretty bad for that one. But of course, she's not going to lose a lot, but like she's going to lose some self-respect from other people.
Name and face sounded familiar. Turns out that I actually made a video on her about 2 months ago. It was back when she had this incident where she said something that sounded like the N-word, and I was just like, come on guys, this really isn't that big of a...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the other controversy is like apparently like she quote unquote said the N-word, but she didn't say the N-word, but it kind of sounded like she said the N-word, but she didn't say the N-word. So take it as your own volition. You know what? That's pretty much about it.
Deal. I think it's blown out of proportion, and now she's back and even worse than ever. And in that video I didn't really talk about her that much in her past because I was just like, well, that's not relevant to me, I really don't care. Ever since she started abusing the copyright system to silence criticism and silence people who are posting her dumbass moments, I was just like, okay, you know what, let's just talk about everything. To give you guys a little context on exactly who this person is and how they behave, this girl went to university, right? I believe she graduated earlier this year. This clip came out of
wait, she graduated earlier this year? Okay, that I did not know about that. I thought she already graduated a while ago, but apparently not.
Admitting to owing $170,000 in college tuition that was paid by her parents. And despite the fact that she's a Twitch partner, despite the fact that she makes a lot of money, despite the fact that she's a multimillionaire, she refuses to pay her parents back.
Do you think that would be your best gift towards your dad?
Hey, look, there it is.
To pay back your tuition?
I'm never gonna pay it back though.
Wait, actually?
No, I don't want to.
But you could.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Wait, do you have student loans?
Yeah, student loans to my parents.
And you're making them pay it off?
No, like my parents paid, and then they're like, pay us back for college, and I just like don't want to.
Okay.
But don't you think that would make them like really happy and proud?
No.
This is, you know, the funny thing about it, this is a young girl mentality, right? This is 100% a young girl mentality who got famous really quickly. And if I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm not too sure, but I think she's from California. So this is that California mindset as well. So, you know, it's definitely that, like, it's just that Asian, the Asian American, there's a specific subgroup of the Asian American, which is like this one specific subgroup of these Asian people or so. But it's like, ugh, dude, what's it called or so? God, I think it might be preppy girls, maybe. It's a specific subgroup. I don't remember. I saw a video about it a long time ago.
They're fine.
Are you doing it kind of like almost out of spite because you're like, I don't want to because like I can, but I know that you guys don't need it.
Yes.
That's why you don't.
Yes, they don't.
Oh, is she from New York? Oh, damn. New York mentality. I thought New York mentality was survivability, not California mentality. Is New York and California have like the same brain cell when it comes to people like that? I see. And then she moved to Texas. I wonder what the reason why she moved to Texas.
I don't need it.
I wonder why.
I'm just a bad daughter.
When I saw this for the first time, I was like, oh, she's just joking, right? She's just playing around. That's just a little sarcasm. But apparently not. She actually did not pay her parents back for the college tuition, almost $200,000, despite the fact that she could pay it forward, but she just doesn't want to because she's based like that, guys. I don't need to pay back my parents. Just 2 days later, after getting flamed by the whole internet for being, let's call it what it is, a pretty shitty, bratty person, she finally decided to pay her parents back. Only $47,000. The reason why it's not the full lump sum is because this is the amount we agreed upon between me and my parents, and I can't financially pay the whole thing right now. I'm calling cap. This is someone who
How can you not financially pay the entire thing when literally let me see. Okay, here. Let's pop out the stats real quick. Let's pop out our good old friend Twitch tracker. Okay, let's pop out the good old Twitch tracker, right? I don't know if I'm spelling her name right. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So we're taking a look at her stats right now, right? Wow, seems pretty crazy in my personal opinion. 8,000, 9,000, 20,000, 14,000, 7,000, 10K, 8, 10, 14, 9, 13, 10, 8, 7, and 11. Let me see. All right, let me see. Let's she's ranked 222 as well. Let's see. Let's find out. Let's see. Let's see if we get a rough estimate. Just a rough estimate, not like exact numbers. Let's just get like a rough estimatation or so. So she gets about like 4,000 to 13,000. I'm like, yeah, you could definitely, you could definitely pay your parents, you know. You can definitely pay for your parents. This is not even counting like ads, like not even ads, but on like, sponsorships and like all that stuff. This is just straight up, this. Who even knows if she even has a YouTube channel? If she has a YouTube channel, that's also on top of that too as well. So if she does have a YouTube channel, that's another thing. Let's see. Let's find out, shall we? Let's do a little bit of research, right? We gotta do the research here, right? Here at Sunako Nyaru's Incorporation, you know, we always do our due diligence, you know, always do our due diligence. Let's see if she like, you know, let's see if she has a YouTube channel.
Does anyone else get hangry?
She has a YouTube channel on top of that too, as well. So she's also getting money from YouTube as well. And look at that, yeah, there's the OTK sign right there. 21, 6.9, 9, 22, 19, 20, 4.5, 45, 18, 32, 30, 11, 16, 11, 72, 7.9. And that's within like, within a month or so, you know, within like roughly about a month and a half. So yeah, no, she gets a pretty good amount, to be honest. Let's not beat around the bush here, you know. And apparently she's sponsored by Gamer Subs. Apparently something about AT&T, Starforge, and Mad Mushroom, apparently. But yeah. Hey, Vari. She has TikTok, she has Twitter, you know. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, apparently she's sponsored by fucking AT&T, so I don't know, man. I don't know, chat. So yeah, so roughly she probably makes a good decent amount, to be honest. Let's not beat around the bush here, you know. Yeah. Cause you gotta do research. You gotta do some research around here. You gotta make sure we gotta know, you know. We gotta know. So I would make my mom retired too as well. I would take care of my mom. That's what I would do personally. So, but yeah. Anyways, she can pay it off. Like she can totally pay it off. You know, 1000%.
Has hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitch. Once again, they're a Twitch partner, so they have a contract, I'm assuming. She's constantly sponsored. You just come across as a very shitty individual. You might be the nicest person on earth right now. You could cure cancer, and I will still be like, you're a shitty person for not paying your parents back when you have the money. Like, if you didn't have the money, that's one thing, but you do. And it's just so frustrating to see someone act like an entitled bitch and take advantage of the parents' kindness. She's also known for running red lights while live streaming and almost killing someone.
Yes, yes. What's this? Ah! Oh, okay, keep going.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Okay, I'm stopping. Okay, we're good. Okay, no problem. That happens all the time. In Austin, you know, like the stoplights here are really long.
Hi,
So
Emily.
usually I just go past.
Live streaming while driving has to be top 10 most retarded things you can do. I would argue that it's safer to drink and drive. It's like you had like 30 years to pause.
Yeah.
You had like 30
Look
years
how
to
much
stop
look
at
how
the-
much time frame she had to stop herself from
It's
that.
like you had like
Look at this. Look at the distance that she had to stop. That's like literally like a bus and a quarter of length or so to stop, and that's plenty of time to stop, but you know.
30 years to pause.
I'm
You
just
had, like,
saying.
30 years to stop at the red light, yet you just kept going while live streaming. I'm like so sick of these people. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know if she suffers from something mentally for her to be like this. But I mean, it just incident after incident after incident that just completely turns me off for content. Now, this is stuff from a few months ago. Why am I barely talking about this? Well, first of all, I just wanted to give you guys some context. Now we could get into the real inspiration behind this video. So there's this Twitter account who goes by Yeet, and I get a lot of clips and information from them. Yeet is legit responsible for like 90% of my YouTube revenue and ideas, because I'm just like, what's going on online now? So I just go check him out. I think he's the best when it comes to these kind of situations reporting. This comes directly from Emily. Keep this in mind. This isn't her agency. This is her. It all started a few hours
Wait,
ago.
this is from
when
her?
he announced that a video that he posted got completely taken down via a DMCA claim. This is a manual claim that a person has to do to take a clip of them down. And as you guys can see from right here, this could harm your account and you could lose revenue and you could lose your account. As you guys can see right here, this media has been disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner. This is her taking down the clip because she didn't like the way she was portrayed. It's her fault for looking like a fucking idiot. And you might be like, Oscar, what's the clip about? Is it really that bad for her to want it to be taken down? Well, I actually have the clip that she wants everyone to delete. If this video goes down, it's on her. And that just gives me extra ammunition to make another video and just milk this more for money. So no matter what happens here, it's a win-win because this is fair use. Anyways, the clip revolves around her still not paying the money back to her dad, despite the fact that she's making thousands of dollars per month.
Bruh.
Did you pay the tuition, your college tuition back to us yet?
Yes!
This year?
Yes!
I never heard a mom say
Dad, don't bring that up! I'm gonna get canceled!
Yeah, cancel what?
Canceled on the internet! I'm hanging up. Bye.
Okay. So your chat heard this, okay? They can check it. You know. don't
Bye,
forget
Dad.
it. Okay, so why you avoid this topic and you?
Cause I got so much hate for it! You don't even know!
Okay. Oh, for this one? For this issue?
Yes!
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. We want you to pay us back happily,
Yes!
not get any burden or something.
I'm hanging up. My dad is gonna go crazy. I'm gonna get another clip. I'm gonna get canceled again.
Now there's this conspiracy theory, okay, that it might be fake, that dad is just fucking around. It's so jokes. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, I don't care. Leaning into the whole she still hasn't paid me back situation. Okay, whatever, fine. The problem to me is ExtraEmily abusing her power and wanting every clip of this situation erased. It's like, if it was fake, why would you start taking it down? Why are you now striking people who are just reposting it or talking about it? What are you trying to accomplish? It just makes you look worse. And in case anyone's like, well, guys, I don't know if it was her. It could be the management. It could be someone else. We don't know. Yeet shares this as well. This is the email that he got. Where is this infringement happening? She says, Twitter, description of the original request. The original work is from my own Twitch stream, ExtraEmily. I captured the work using my own setup and own channel. She links some other stuff. So she's manually going around and taking videos down who are sharing the clip of the dad being like, well, you haven't paid me back. Now, whether it was a joke or not, it really doesn't matter. If anything, it just makes things look worse. Like, why are you taking down a joke? If I buy into the conspiracy theory, it doesn't add up. So this is someone with 472,000 followers on Twitch, and this is not even taking donations into consideration from Sims and people who are down bad for her. So, you know, she's making pretty good money and she can't pay her parents back. And on YouTube, she has around 150,000 subscribers as well. Dude, just pay your fucking parents back. You have money, you're with OTK, you are sponsored by all of these people, and you can't afford to give your parents money. It's such a bratty, entitled thing to do. It truly does show you their colors. The I have no money excuse doesn't work. I want to know what's wrong with these people. But anyways, with that said, no outro. I'm gonna go back to watch Naruto.
Yep. Yep. Damn. It's kind of crazy in my personal opinion. Well, my personal opinion, just pay your parents back, man. It ain't that serious. Once you pay your parents back, if you don't want to continue talking to them, you don't have to continue talking to them, you know? But it's not, like, it's not that crazy. You only have... Family is always important no matter what, you know? Family would always be that number one, you know? That number one person that'll always be by your side, you know? But... hey, I guess her friends are more important, right? But once her friends leave her for something dumb or so, who's she gonna have left at the end of the day? Nobody, you know? I'm just saying. Like, you know, I have a good relationship with, you know, with Mama Azathoth, you know, so. Yeah, we butted heads with each other, but we always get over it at the end of the day, so. it's just not really, it's not really that big of an issue because there's not really like, there's no point of being mad forever. There's no point of holding a grudge forever. It just makes you look ugly at the end of the day. So, but hey, you know what? That's it for me. That's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Yeah, love your mom. Love your dad. Because you don't know when they're gonna disappear. Also repay your debts too. Even though technically it's not an actual like debt. Just some kindness and some goodness to your parents is always, it's always nice. Because they'll always look back at it and they'll smile at you and be like, I raised a good son/daughter, and it's just.
But wait, there's more.
Hold on, chat. Let's check this video out. Apparently, she responded like it was like 5 hours ago, and she like it's only been like a day or so, and then she's already responded to the whole issue with ExtraEmily. I'm kind of curious on this actually.
I know what some of you might be thinking. Oscar, Sans, Mr. Society, how unemployed are you? This is like your 5th video within 48 hours. You have to be living the saddest life of all time. And yeah, I am. What are you, sad, depressed, unemployed? And my answer to those 3 questions are yes, yes, and yes. But enough of this therapy session. Let's just get into the content. So a few hours ago, I made this video called She's Effing Insane, where I talk about the Twitch streamer who goes by ExtraEmily and her being not a very good person. I recommend the video, go watch it. Long story short, the drama that pretty much inspired me to make that whole video was her not paying her parents back for college because she owed $170,000, and then Loki kind of felt like she felt pride in not paying her parents back. She was laughing about
it. Was pretty stupid for her to do that actually. Unemployed am I? Back then I played with Sunako for 14 hours straight on Monster Hunter Rise.
Making jokes about it. I mean, you can watch the full video.
And I saw you got flinged by that one spider girl or that one spider monster. 1 second you were between the legs, next second you were flying through the air backwards.
Context. That was one of my issues, but yet another issue was her abusing the copyright system, potentially shutting down someone's Twitter account because they didn't want that clip to be shown. I don't think that's smart. I don't support that. I don't think that's very epic, so I made my video on it. As a matter of fact, Yeet actually gave me a shout out. He said another YouTuber, me, I'm that YouTuber, has joined in the ExtraEmily conversation, and then he links my channel, shows a screenshot, appreciate the love. I gotta drop a like on that one. So let's just get into her responses. Literally came out when I was sleeping like a baby, so I'm kind of late to it, but she says, I was holding off on saying something, but I would like to stand up for myself. Pretty brave, if you ask me. As a matter of fact, let me get up my chair. Let me give you a standing ovation because I respect this. Standing up for yourself, I could get behind that, right? I could support that, of course, queen. Love this. So far, so good. Point number 1, I pay my parents in 6-month installments. It's May. The next payment is scheduled in June. My dad is trolling and joking. Now, this is something that I alluded to, and I believe it's halfway through my original video. I'm like, let's just say this is all fake, right? To me, that really wasn't relevant. I don't care if it was fake or not. I showed that she's paid around $47,000 so far.
Yeah.
And I do think she comes across as a spoiled brat. I could be wrong. I've never spoken to her before, but the way she portrays herself and the way she acts from the clips that I've seen, it just...
It's the way how she like handles the situation itself, So I wasn't the only one who hoed by Co and had a monster whoop my ass. No, he didn't get whooped or so. He just got flinged or so. Like it was only like one moment he was like between the legs of the monster, and then the next second or so he was getting flinged across, my screen.
Rubs me the wrong way. So to me, I was just like, okay, whatever. I don't care. It's not like I'm gonna be shocked and ripping my fucking hair out and be like, whoa, influencers fake stuff. I would have never seen that coming, guys. I am so shocked. Like that has never ever happened, right? My issue is when you abuse the copyright system that could potentially make someone lose their income or lose their accounts. I am not a fan of that. I think there's ways you could have gone about it. You could
Yeah, the copyright, the big major problem about the situation is the copyright strike that she was doing. Like, honestly, it's like, yeah, if he was joking about, okay, that's cool, everything, but at the end of the day, it is still pretty bad that you, at the very beginning of this whole entire ordeal, that you didn't want to pay your parents, and you're just like, bruh. So,
could have sent him a DM. You could have been like, hey, can you take this down? You could have legitimately made this guy lose his income. There's ways to go about it. If you don't want a clip of yourself that's going around that you yourself live streamed, by the way, no one stole this from her iCloud. She willingly streams like 8 hours of her live. You could have sent him a DM. You could have been like, yo, can you add context to it? Or, I'll give my side of the story. But immediately,
yeah, of course, you could have just reached out to the person. I would assume there's not a problem at all to reach out to Yeet and be like, hey, I'm getting a little bit bad publicity about this. Is there a way you can add context to it, or is there a way for you to do this or do that? So
hitting the copyright claim button, I don't think that's a good move, and it does set a bad precedent. Point number 2, I DMCA'd the clips because I knew Twitter has a hate boner for me and would absolutely blow it up, starting another massive hate train on an out of context clip where people just make assumptions about the truth. You knew that Twitter hates you, so you decided to make people outside of Twitter hate you even more.
Yeah, once, like, because on YouTube or so, it's really messed up for you to abuse the copyright system. But now, like, even some people on YouTube are starting to hate you a lot more. So this you just made yourself look even worse. You could have just handled this like very maturely, but at the end of the day, common sense is not existent apparently in America.
Okay, great play, Chief. Like, what's the thinking process here? Here's what I'm going to do, okay? People on Twitter hate me. Let's now give them a valid reason to hate me even more. And the thing is, this reached me on Twitter. I think I don't have a Twitter account. I only have Instagram, and it reached me. So on your quest to troll or fuck with people on Twitter, you just brought more attention to this. What's the thinking process here? People hate me, so now let's give them even more ammunition. Yo, this is kind of retarded. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll show you that I'm horrible by being horrible and potentially costing this guy his income. Okay, great moves. 1,000 IQ moment right here. The internet did that anyway, so I guess it'll happen regardless. Love that. However, bitch, I don't regret DMCAing anyone when someone's main goal is to share a drama baiting out of context clip that has no information and is most likely just to start hate. If you know Twitter hates you, why would you ever give them more ammunition? Truth be told, I don't know why Twitter hates you that much. I don't know that much about you. I made a video a few months ago, low-key kind of defending you and low-key simping. A tier 3 simp out here. Being like, hey, leave her alone, guys. She did not say the N-word. So I'm not a hater. I'm not an op. I'm just seeing this as a normie, I guess. And it makes
some of them don't add context. For example, what's been going with AMP Kai's friend group, a lot of drama is being fueled out of nowhere with speculations and out of context clips. Oh yeah, I think I've been hearing about the whole Kai Sanat situation that's been happening over there. Like at the end of the day, but like doing the copywriting somebody or so from like, from if it was the entire stream itself being uploaded without any like changes or anything like that, yeah, that I'm like, they shouldn't be able to upload your content, re-upload your content that you made, but if you like take a snippet of it,
look horrible,
and you just take a snip, you just show the clip or so, it's not really like a thing, because then that would mean like every VTuber should copyright their clip channels and everything. They should just copyright all the clips that they've done or so.
It's not a good look for you or your brand. Doubling and tripling down on this situation, not a very good move in my opinion. If there was a video of me going around of me saying dumb shit and I don't like it, I'm going to reach out to the person and be like, hey man, can you please take that down? There's ways to go about it.
Yeah.
Or just ignore it. Like, who the fuck cares? If you would have never done that, I would have never talked
The problem is you gave more attention to it. Now it's just fueling more fire into the situation itself, And it's just kind of like, well, you're bringing it more attention now, so now everybody's gonna start knowing now, and then you're gonna have people start hating you even more now. So
about it. Now, if they do share a moment where I truly fuck up, then I take responsibility and let the clips roam free. Number 3, it has been exhausting seeing all these harassment comments, clips, and videos towards me. On the clip where my dad was just trolling me, I want to stand up for myself and stop misinformation from spreading. And I also ask that the people on the internet take these clips with a grain of salt. I don't think it's the worst response of all time.
Yeah.
I do think it's weird and pretty stupid to double and triple down, being like, oh yeah, I did it and I don't care. I mean, I wouldn't personally do this. I think it's scummy and it does make you look bad, and the precedent it could set and just the internet as a whole is not a very good precedent, if I gotta keep it real. I mean, I guess by her logic, if anyone...
Yeah, like for me specifically, right? Like on here on Twitch, when I'm saying I'm being dead ass serious, like I'm being dead ass serious with you guys, you know, like no joking around, like I need your opinion on this, or I need to talk to you guys about this and this and this. No jokes, no nothing. Like I'm like I will literally tell you guys, all right, chat, I'm being dead ass serious, like super serious here. I need your guys', you know, this and that, you know.
One ever makes a video on me and I don't like it, if they're mean, right? If they say something mean and it makes me cry and suicidal, I will just strike the whole video down. I guess that's the move for 2025. If we're doing that, there's a few videos I need to strike. There's a few ops I gotta take care of. One of the top replies says, stop abusing DMCA. Cool, so you admit to abusing DMCA takedowns. You're a dog shit human. That's the thing. You didn't silence the critics, and this went beyond Twitter. This went to YouTube, and I believe I saw it on Reddit as well. In your way to silence people and take shit down, it just amplified everything, and it just made everything so much worse for you. And now there's so many other people that hate you, and they're calling you mean things. Now, I wouldn't say anything that's offensive or mean, never. You went about it in the stupidest way possible, and well, now you can't cry. So basically, you're just going to keep abusing DMCA. I guess so. This is why when stuff like this happens, the second you try to suppress it or hide it, it just makes things so much worse.
Oh yeah,
it just
1000%.
much bigger deal than it should have been. And I've seen this play time and time and time and time again, where people think they could suppress certain information or strike videos down, and then it just becomes a whole mess. Seen it way too many times to be like, this never works out. Just own it, ignore it, or move on. Those are your 3 options. And I do think Emily is in the wrong. I do think she's an idiot for this, and this is on
you know, if you're gonna become a content creator, you have to have thick skin. Like honestly, if you're being like very sensitive to stuff like this or so, it's just gonna be problems later down the line you're gonna have. It's just like just ignore it, you know, just kind of like you know. I don't care what people say, you know, about me from time to time, you know. It's just kind of like, I don't really care. It's just kind of like That's why I don't let things bother me. For God's sakes, I grew up in Call of Duty lobbies. I've had worse shit. No one's a harsher critic than me and myself, okay? Me, myself, and I is like the, you know, my, like, just me, just literally just me criticizing myself, or like just down, you know, just putting myself down is part, like, nobody can match the same energy as I can. So she needs to take a break and cool off. Can tell she's getting stressed. Yeah, she is. She definitely is. Like, she needs to, like, she just needs to log off for a bit or so, in my personal opinion. Just come in with a fresh mind. I don't know. It's just and like, you just don't abuse the copyright system. That's just about it.
Ass behavior and some looser ass behavior. Not a fan of it personally. That's all I gotta say. What do you guys think of the situation? Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I am thirsty. It is like,
I think in my personal opinion, it's pretty bad. It's like, it's a pretty bad way to do it, because it's kind of like, why are you even bothering doing this, you know? I don't know. The copyright system, you just don't abuse the copyright, you know, whatsoever. You just don't do that, you know? But it is what it is, you know. It's just kind of like whatever at the end of the day. You know, if that's the route that she wants to go to, then she'll be the content creator that they'll know that, like, oh yeah, that content creator, yeah, you know, she's the one that doesn't pay her father or her family or whatever, and then she also abuses the copyright system. Mostly she'll be known as the person who abuses the copyright system, you know. That's what she's gonna be known for, like, for now on. It's like, oh, that content creator, yeah, she abuses copyright system. If you know, if you decided to talk to her in a bad limelight, you know, or quote unquote get, you know, clips out of context or something, you know, or whatever, you know. So it's just like, it's the internet. what are you expecting? Are you expecting the internet to be like a happy go fun place or so where like everyone understands each other? Not really. Like even I knew about this coming into, you know, content creating. But I don't know. That's just my opinion on the situation of the matter itself, but it is what it is. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's just kind of like whatevs for me. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And, peace.